Hey everyone, my name is Ian, and yes, I'm rocking that horse like a boss. Now, I know what all of you are thinking. How did this cute kid end up losing his looks and become the 28-year-old you know today? Well, I'm here to tell you my story, from how I developed as a reader to how I ended up at this school. So let's begin. My story starts when I was a very young boy in kindergarten, during my special week, air quotes included. The woman on the left is my mother, Wendy, and while sometimes she can be extremely neurotic, she was a huge part of making me the person I am today. When I was young, she would read to me every night before bed. We would either read picture books or novels, and she became a huge influence on my development as a reader and the types of books I wanted to read. Oh, and no, I have no clue what my brother is doing in this shot. Most likely being a clown per usual. I will say, I do owe my brother for introducing me to video games, as he let me play his systems growing up. This was the first time I had ever read text in a digital format, and I never really thought about its importance in my life before taking this course. Back in my day, video games didn't have voiceovers, and all the story and dialogue were told through text. These experiences helped broaden my vocabulary and sentence structure immensely. I pushed myself to understand what was going on in the game because I loved the stories being told more than any other part of the experience. In the two examples you see here, I understood every word on the left side of the screen when I was 6, and on the right side when I was 8. To this day, I still play games, and I'm very thankful they were such a big part of my life growing up. It wasn't until around grade 5 that I really started to love reading on my own. My friends and I created a book club at that time, and during our time in the club, I read my favorite book, Tuesdays with Morrie. This is the first time I ever really thought critically about a text, and analyzed the book through a group discussion with my friends. It was just so well written with such an emotional story, it spoke to me more than any other book I've ever read, and because of that, I make sure to read it at least once a year to have that experience over and over. Well, that's the literacy side of my story, but you're probably wondering, what made me decide to pursue a teaching career? Here we have the most important moment of my life, what I see as the sole reason I am sitting in this classroom showing you this video today. Before starting this program, I worked for a company called Little Kickers, which focuses on teaching kids how to play soccer. The ages of the children ranged from 18 months up to 5 years old, and our classes would usually have 18 children per class over a 45-minute period. I loved every part of this job, even if I was terrified to work with children at that time and barely did anything to help my first few weeks. Every week that went by, I improved as a coach, and the job changed from something I needed to do to make money into something I wanted to do every day. I like to think I was a big part of improving not just my students' soccer skills, but also in their development at such a young age, socially and behaviorally. Leaving that job was one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make because I had financial security and loved working with the children. But I knew I wanted to be more involved on a daily basis with their development in the classroom. So how has my life changed now that I'm in this program, you ask? Well, I wonder if anyone can tell if this is morning or night. The answer is, who knows? I leave home so early and arrive so late, the sun is never up. My life now consists of school, dodgeball, and sleep, which means less time for friends and hobbies. But you do what you gotta do to get what you want out of life. My passion for working with children is going to push me to finish this program, and I know in the long run I will have made the right choice for my future.